I never thought I'd end up like this, spending my final years in the Crescendo Home for Aged and Indigent Musicians. Yet, here I am, I, Tony Tempo, once known as the Trumpet King of Swing. I'm heading toward that Last Command performance watching Jeopardy with a bunch of wizened old music makers in the common room of a converted Victorian mansion in Baldwin, Long Island. I thought I'd spend my old age with my dearest Clara, my high school honey, my very own Energizer fuck bunny of 45 years. I was sure she'd outlive me with my daily pack of Pall Mall and nightly half bottle of Jack. But then she up and died. An embolism, the doctor called it, a bubble of blood burst in her brain. He said it didn't hurt her, she just saw all red. And then she was gone forever. I hoped we'd head south when I retired, moved to Florida. But after she kicked the bucket, I couldn't retire. I hung on, kept touring, playing my trumpet. But wherever I was, whatever song I was playing, she was always on my mind. A couple of years ago, I had a stroke, lost all the feeling and movement in my right leg. Now I'm an old gimp on a walker. At least I can still play my trumpet. At least I still got my memories, my imagination. I imagine Clara and me in Florida. We'd buy a nice condominium by the sea. We'd eat dinner at a fancy restaurant and walk on the beach holding hands. After that, we'd go home and make love. Clara was so hot for me, we partied every night until the day she died. I'd lie in bed on top of the covers, stripped to my birthday suit, while Clara was taking her shower. She'd come out of the bathroom naked, my Venus rising from the sea. She was voluptuous, a va-va-va-va-va-va-va-va-va-va-va-voom girl, with boobs big as bowling balls. Her hips were wide and welcoming. From across the room, I could smell the sweet honey in her snatch. The sight of her made my horn stand up high as one of those rockets at Cape Canaveral. She would wiggle slowly toward me, doing a dance older than time. She'd lick her lips, moisten them, then bend over my belly, take me in her mouth of a million delights. Her lips and tongue were always so wet that every time she went down on me, I was floating in a lake of love. She'd cover my cock-a-doodle-doo with kisses, caress it up and back with her fabulous flickering tongue. Clara loved to smoke my pipe, as she called it. She had this trick, something she did with her head, twisting it round and round and round in a corkscrew motion when she had her tongue on me. It always got me so worked up, I was ready to explode, but she usually stopped before that could happen, let me calm down. She'd lick her way through my coarse crotch hair, trace that tongue past my navel to my chest, find my nipple and nurse there until it hardened into a little diamond. All the while, she'd be holding me, her fingers curled around my equipment like a prayer. She always knew the exact right moment to lick her way back down south and suck me again. How I miss her. No women here except the nurses, and they treat us like babies. For example, Miss Pooty. When she knocks on my door every day at 3 p.m., she says the same thing. Her voice is loud and syrupy, oozing with heartburn. Would Tony like a little snacky poo? What I'd really like is a snacky poo on some poontang. But I don't tell her that, as I silently open the door and accept the milk and cookies she offers. Miss Pooty, she's maybe 5 feet tall, 5 feet around, with a rather prominent mustache. It's painful to imagine her in a flimsy, see-through negligee, but Still, I know she is a woman, a human being, and must have desires like everyone else. One day, I decide to have a little fun, kid around with her, maybe lighten things up. When she knocks on my door, I hobble over, open it. I make as much of a gallant bow as I can manage. "Good afternoon, Miss Poochie," I say suavely. She draws back surprised. She doesn't seem pleased. I've upset our usual routine. "Would Mr. Tony like a little snacky poo?" she asks, but now her saccharine voice has a sharp edge. I give her what I hope is a winning smile. Too bad I don't have my dentures in. I'd rather suck on your lovely lips, I answer. She steps back, nearly drops the tray. Her complexion turns from pale gray to angry orange.